The budget that Mayor Eric Adams put out yesterday is preposterous. It makes no allowances for the likelihood of an economic downturn, no allowances for the likelihood of federal budget cuts. He doesn't put one penny in reserves, and it's got a $1.4 billion deficit in the current fiscal year. So yes, this is him trying to campaign, even though he long destroyed his chances of people voting for him again. But yes, he is going to hand the next mayor a real problem, which is why New Yorkers need someone who knows how the budget works.
Give us just a sense of the state of the city right now from a financial perspective. Where are we?
Yeah, so before the tariff threats, we were actually in pretty good shape. Private sector jobs back up above the pandemic for the first time. Commercial vacancies starting to decline. Now, too much growth in low-wage sectors, healthcare and social services, but some promising signs. But if the tariffs tip us into an economic downturn or a recession, that'll blow a big hole in our budget. If there are big federal budget cuts to core services, that'll blow a big hole in our budget.
Do you, at this point, anticipate the federal government cutting back support of New York City, for example?
Yeah, well, in two different ways. Look, the budget that they've set the framework up for is going to cut money to all cities and states, just leave politics aside. And that's, money for school lunches and money for healthcare in our public hospitals. And then, yes, I mean, Trump is clearly aiming at cities like New York, and that's a real risk. So I've recommended putting $1 billion more in our rainy day fund, $1 billion more in our general reserve, just so we could be prepared for what's coming.
The Lander distinction, like most people grew up in one zip code, on this side or that side of Central Park or one of the boroughs. You grew up in the shadow of KMOX out in St. Louis. You are different because you actually understand there's other cities out there just like New York. How bad is this going to be for St. Louis or for Dallas or for a very beleaguered, crime-ridden Chicago?
Look, this is going to be a challenge for every city. If you lose the federal funding that pays for your school lunches or the money in your public hospitals or your housing vouchers. There were, New York stands to lose 8,000 housing vouchers. I don't know how many St. Louis will use.
Does President Trump have the power to do that? Does he have the power in 2075 to say Trump to city, drop dead?
Look, these 8,000 housing vouchers he's already said he's going to cut. He absolutely has that power. That'd be 8,000 more homeless families if we don't do something about it.
Right outside our front doors here on Lexington Avenue, we've got these big cameras on Lexington Avenue for the congestion pricing.
Yeah.
What's your view on that? Where are we on that?
It's a great step forward. I was one of the people I've been fighting for it alongside Mike Bloomberg since 2007. When the governor put it on pause, I convened the litigation coalition that got it off pause by bringing 2 lawsuits. And now we've got $160 million more headed toward $15 billion to invest in modern signals, in subway elevators, in platform barriers and station gates.
Is it
better,
working?
faster subway service. Travel times across the bridges are up 10 to 30%. Traffic is down 12%. More people are on the subways. More people are on the buses. More people are taking City Bike. It is working better than anybody predicted.
North of 60th Street, Park Avenue looks like downtown in 1910. It's like jammed up outside the congestion area. Am I right on that?
There have not been big traffic backups even on the edges of the zone. Honestly, it is working better than anyone expected. Foot traffic is up. Business is going well. This is one that I thought would be good. It's even better.
Brad Lander with us, New York City Comptroller and mayoral candidate here. What do you do up to the June primary? I mean, what's the, do you in this fractured cultural New York City, I mean, I don't think it's a city of Abe Beam or David Dinkins or others now. How do you campaign in this modern age?
Well, first you go everywhere, and it's an amazing city. Yesterday I was out in Brownsville. I'm up in the Bronx. I'm in all the, as many neighborhoods as I can be personally. Of course, I'm up on the air with TV ads next week. You're doing radio, digital. You're getting out on every single place. I love being here. It's fun. New Yorkers are amazing. They're very diverse. They tell you how they feel. They're pissed off about how expensive it is and how expensive housing and childcare are. They want to feel safer on the subway. So they love hearing my plan to end street homelessness for folks with serious mental illness.
What is
they
it?
want
What
a
is
good
the
vision.
solution there? I mean, Tom and I, we've been in this city for a long, long time. Lisa as well. What does a city like New York do?
On that, look, it's only about 2,000 people who have serious mental illness and are sleeping on subways and streets. We can connect them to housing and services with a better continuum of care and a model called Housing First. I put out a plan to do it.
one of the themes we're hearing from all the candidates, including you, Brad, is the basic idea we need more police officers. You're a liberal. How do you meet the Staten Island block that says we're 3,000 short NYPD? How do we affect that change?
Yeah, I mean, I'm honest about it. I do think progressives, myself included, were slow to reckon with rising disorder coming out of the pandemic,
It's
mental
called
health,
crime, the Republicans
mental
won.
health disorder. But look, we're now, 1,500 officers down, and by January 1st, it'll probably be 2,000 or 3,000. So I have a plan to recruit and retain officers.
Are they underpaid?
Growing the NYPD cadet program. Well, my big idea is let's grow the NYPD cadet program, which brings people in and pays their college tuition, but you have to be halfway through college first. Let's open that up to kids out of high school. They could become cadets. They start getting paid. They get their tuition covered. They become better officers. Keep our city safe.
A 32-year-old NYPD officer can go out to the suburbs for more money, right? Are they, frankly, the nurses, the teachers, everybody else saying it? Is the pay grid of New York City underpaid? Is a general statement after X years of mismanagement?
It's very expensive to live in New York City. That is a huge part of the challenge. That's why I'm focused on housing affordability. I've got a program called Homes for City Workers that'll invest pension funds alongside teachers and cops and double the home they could afford. So if they could afford a $400,000 mortgage, pension fund invests alongside. They can buy an $800,000 home, split the proceeds when they sell it. The pension funds will keep doing well. And we could have the next generation of homeowners who are teachers, firefighters, cops, public hospital nurses. That's what we need in New York.